Hi, this is Stephanie Stanley with PikeCountyDaily.com, and I'm here with Karisa DeLay, a Waverly High School graduate who recently wrote and published her first book, Crystal Gate. Hi, Karisa.
Hi.
So, tell us a bit about Crystal Gate.
This is just a paranormal nonfiction book that I wrote that kind of has a sci-fi twist. It has to deal with the perception of reality and how it shifts in our own reality. So it's about a physicist here in Ohio, in Dayton, in the Patterson Air Force Base.
Wow, sounds cool. So what inspired it for you?
A dream.
Really?
I had a dream one night and I couldn't shake the ending of the dream. I talked to my husband, I said, I think I'm going to write a book. And he's like, go for it. And thus far, that's what I've done.
Wow. So did you always want to write a book?
I wanted to write a book back when I was like 20, but I think I was too mature to focus and get the real story out. So now that I have a lot more going on in my life, I think I'm able to actually focus, if that's not strange.
So how long did it take you once you started with your book?
I started it in December of 2011. I finished it 9 months later in August of 2012.
That's kind of quick.
Yeah, well, I was determined.
So, who published this? How did that work?
It is self-published through Author House, which is is owned by Penguin Publishing Group, which is a big traditionally published company. Though I self-published, like I said before to you in one of our questions, was I did pretty much everything and handed it to Author House, and they just printed it for me and put it and made it available as an ebook on all the readers. So you can get it anywhere, that kind of thing. So they did all that for me. That's pretty much what they did. I designed the cover. I had a company come in and do my layout for my my font and my back cover. I had a photographer come in and do the photograph. This is actually my daughter on the front cover in our living room floor on a white sheet, and then the photographer came in and did everything else. So that's pretty much how it went.
Wow. So are you going to have signings?
Yes, we're actually having a launch party on June 13th in Jackson, Ohio, at the Tea Caddy upstairs on the loft. We will have books available for sale, and those people who have already purchased a book are bringing theirs, and we'll sign them there. We'll sign anybody's books that night, and also anybody that buys a book that night, or previously buys a book that night, and shows us that they have that book, will be entered to win. We have a series of gift certificates, gift cards to like restaurants, and then a custom-made Crystal Gate necklace made by Sherry Veshel. So, yeah,
that's neat.
Really cool. Yeah,
a little added bonus.
Yeah, so I mean, of course my husband was like, you know, you could give away a book. I'm like, no, I want people to buy a book.
That's true.
I want to buy a book so then they can read it, you know,
sure.
instead of just giving away. So that way people will maybe come out and see what we got going on.
Yeah. So without giving too much away, a really, really short description of your book.
Alexis Zen is, like I said before, a physicist at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. She has always been very fascinated with ancient technology and how technology back in the ancient times was so advanced when they didn't have the knowledge that we have today. So, she studies this stuff and she's into the physics and stuff of how things work, but the military has tasked her with creating an atmospheric disruption a piece of equipment. Well, when her and her supervisor go to start testing these equipments before it's put out into the military, things start happening. Things start happening with the environment, and she's kind of things draw to her. Well, once she figures out what's going on, these things have been drawn to her since the beginning, and there's a reason for it, but I'm not going to tell you the reason because I'll give it away.
Sure.
And when she realizes that something that she's had in her possession could unlock like the mysteries to the Garden of Eden, she's like, things just start going in a tailspin. So, the book, this is only the first book.
Oh.
So it kind of leaves you with a cliffhanger, and then picks up in the second book and answers like a lot more. It answers some questions, but then it leaves some questions.
Have you finished the next book?
No, I am in chapter 13, actually chapter 14. I did take that back. I'm in chapter 14 of book 2, which will be Crystal Gate Four Rivers.
Wow.
So.
Wow. So where can people get this?
They can get this on Amazon.com. Barnes & Noble, that's where you can get the hardback or the paperback version, and they can get it on any reader, like Kindle, iBooks, Nook, whatever the e-reader you have, you can find it. They can get it on Author House, which is my publisher, but I always recommend people go to Amazon, buy it there. It's cheaper, and you can do a review and, you know, help my sales go up.
Great. Well, we're really, really, really happy that you're from here and that you've done something so cool.
Thank you.
And we hope a lot of people buy the book.
Yes.
And to learn more about Karisa and her book, be sure to check out our feature story in this weekend's edition of the Pike County News Watchman and at PikeCountyDaily.com.